different way.
I am not in love with you. If this is a game, stop it already.
That's fine.
We are just friends.
There is a kind of love that doesn't bring peace. It starts with sweet words, caring gestures, and endless promises, until one day it becomes a storm that swallows everything good. That was the kind of love Ryan had for Emma. Or maybe it wasn't love at all, just obsession wearing love's mask. Emma was the kind of woman whose calm presence filled every room. She worked as a graphic designer in a small company, and her days were simple: work, home, quiet nights filled with books and music. She met Ryan through her best friend Sophie. He was confident, handsome, and very attentive. He brought flowers to her office, sent her lunch on random days, and told everyone that Emma was a woman he would marry. At first, she thought it was harmless admiration, but soon it became too much. Ryan wanted to know where she went, who she talked to, and why she didn't pick his calls fast enough. Emma tried to explain that she didn't feel the same way. She told him politely several times that she wasn't in love with him, but Ryan always laughed and said, "You will come around, Emma, you just don't know it yet." She avoided him for months, blocking his number and staying far away from Sophie's gatherings because he was always there. But fate, or maybe slight sense of timing, brought someone else her way. His name was Daniel. He wasn't flashy, but he was rich, kind. He was gentle, understanding, and most importantly, he respected her space. Daniel owned a small tech firm, and his humility drew Emma to him. For the first time in a long while, she felt peace. She didn't feel forced to love anyone or to be loved by anyone. Their relationship grew naturally, and a year later, Daniel proposed. It was simple, just him, her, and a small diamond ring under the stars. Emma said yes with tears in her eyes. She didn't know that somewhere else someone was breaking apart. Ryan found out 2 weeks later. He had gone to Sophie's house pretending to be casual. Sophie told him about the wedding, about how happy Emma was and how perfect Daniel seemed. Ryan's face went pale. He didn't speak for a while. Then he stood up, forced a smile, and said, "Congratulations to her." But as he walked to his car, something dark formed in his mind. He couldn't accept it. After everything he had done for her, the care, the gifts, the time, she chose someone else, a rich man. In his twisted mind, he decided Emma had betrayed him. He spent nights sitting in his car outside her house, watching lights go off and come on. Sometimes he saw Daniel's car there and his jaw would tighten. He thought about ways to make her see reasons. Then one night, he went back to Sophie. Sophie had always liked Ryan, secretly, quietly from the background. She knew he was obsessed with Emma, but she admired his confidence. When Ryan arrived that night, his eyes looked different, wild and desperate. "I need your help," he said. Sophie frowned. "With what?" "Emma's wedding is in 3 days. I just need her to listen, to look at me one last time. I won't hurt her." Sophie hesitated. "Ryan, that's crazy." "Please," he said softly, "just help me see her one last time." And somehow Sophie agreed. It was 2 days to the wedding. Emma's apartment smelled of flowers and excitement. Her gown was ready. Her friends were calling every hour, and her heart was full. Sophie arrived that evening, carrying a bag of chocolate and smiles. "You look like a bride already," she teased. Emma laughed. "I can't believe it's really happening." "Let's take a drive," Sophie said. "You need a breath of fresh air before tomorrow's chaos." Emma didn't suspect anything. Sophie was her best friend. Why would she? They drove through the streets, talking and laughing, until Sophie turned into an unfamiliar path. Emma frowned. Where are we going? Shortcut, Sophie said quickly. But before Emma could ask another question, a black van blocked the road. Two masked men jumped out. The door was flung open. Emma screamed, but a hand covered her mouth. She struggled, kicking, shouting, but no one heard. The van door slammed shut, and within seconds they were gone. When Emma woke up, the world was dark and cold. Her wrist hot, her throat was dry, the hair smelled like rust. She was lying on a small mattress in a room with no windows, just a faint light bulb swinging above her. She tried to scream, but her voice cracked. Then the door opened. Footsteps, slow, heavy, and then Ryan's face. She froze. Her heart stopped for a second. "Ryan," she whispered. He smiled faintly. "You are awake. What have you done?" "I saved you," he said softly. "Saved me?" She snapped. "You kidnapped me." He sighed and sat near her. "You were making a mistake, Emma. That man doesn't love you. He loves your peace, your beauty, your calm. But he doesn't know your soul like I do." She shook her head violently. "You are sick. This isn't love." He leaned closer, his voice trembling. "You think I wanted this? You think I enjoyed seeing you scared? I did this for us." He left foot on the table and locked the door. Emma screamed and kicked, but the walls didn't care. Hours later, the door opened again. It wasn't Ryan this time, it was Sophie. Emma's eyes widened. "Sophie." Her friend stood there, face pale, hands shaking. "You?" Emma gasped. "You did this?" Sophie looked away. "Ryan just wanted to talk to you. He said he wouldn't hurt you." Emma's voice trembled. "You betrayed me for him?" Tears ran down Sophie's face. "I told you just wanted closure. I didn't know it would bring you here." Emma laughed bitterly. "You call this closure? You call this love?" Sophie dropped the tray and ran out crying. Days passed. Ryan visited often. He talked about their future, about building a life far away from everyone. Sometimes he brought flowers, sometimes he shouted when she refused to smile. He was losing his mind, and Sophie knew it. One night, she heard him talking to himself in the living room. "If she can't love me, I will make her understand. I will make her see we belong together." That was the night Sophie realized she was in danger too. She sneaked into Emma's room after midnight. "Emma," she whispered, "we have to go." Emma looked at her weakly. "Why now?" "Because he's not the man I thought he was," Sophie said. "He is a monster." They searched the room quietly and found a small window near the ceiling. It was tight but big enough for one person. "You go first," Sophie whispered. "No," Emma said, "you first." But Sophie shook her head. "I will distract him. Just promise me you will run." Emma climbed, cutting her hands against the wall. As she slipped through the opening, Ryan's voice echoed from the hall. "Sophie, what are you doing?" Emma froze. Then she heard shouting, glass breaking, Sophie screaming. She ran. The night was cold and wet. Rain poured as she ran through the woods, bare feet and trembling. Her heart pounded, her breath sharp. Behind her, Ryan's voice tore through the darkness. "Emma, don't run from me. It is forever." She didn't look back. Headlights appeared in the distance. It was a police car. Danny had reported her missing days some days ago. They were still searching. Emma ran toward the lights, waving frantically. But before she reached the road, Ryan caught her from behind, dragging her down. She screamed, kicking wildly. The officers jumped out. "Drop the weapon," one shouted. Ryan turned, his face wet with rain and tears. "She is mine. She has always been mine." A gunshot echoed. Ryan fell, clutching his shoulder. He looked at Emma one last time and whispered, "It was supposed to be love." The police took him away that night. Sophie was arrested too. Weeks later, Emma sat quietly in her room. Her wedding dress was still in the box, untouched. Daniel visited often, holding her hand in silence. She smiled weakly but spoke little. Healing takes time, she knew that. She opened a diary and began to write. Some people confuse love for possession. They want to own you, not cherish you. But love doesn't cage you, it frees you to breathe, to choose, to live. She closed the diary and looked out the window. The morning sun touched her face gently. A new day had come, one she almost didn't see. She whispered to herself, "Never mistake obsession for love." And that was how Emma's silence ended, not in fear, but in freedom. A week later, her wedding with Daniel took place. Ryan and her friend Sophie came to apologize to her and she forgave them one more time.